All right, so welcome back. Today we're going to be taking a look at three-point perspective. This is a third part in our perspective series of creating a sense of form on a two-dimensional surface. We're focusing on just creating simple blocks in this particular series today in order to provide a really solid foundation for more advanced and complex applications of perspective. So what we need, again, is we need a ruler, we're going to need a pencil and an eraser, we're going to need a page out of your sketchbook or a scrap piece of paper, as well as some goose paper or extra paper, but this time we're going to actually need 3 instead of 2, so I just took a scrap piece and divided it into 3 and just tore it into long strips. So step 1, what we're going to be doing with this is, again, making sure that we can minimize the amount of distortion that we are going to get in our perspective drawing by extending the vanishing points out beyond the edges of the paper. So I'm going to apply these here, one coming down the bottom and then one out on either side like so. And I'm just going to use a couple pieces of tape to adhere these into place, just like this here. Okay, so I'm going to flip this over. Right, and we're ready to begin the process of drawing. So just like last time, what we need to do is we're going to be establishing our horizon line. And again, this is where the sky meets the earth, or another way of thinking about it too is sort of where our eye level is set. Okay? And on this vanishing or horizon line, we're going to establish our 3 vanishing points. So vanishing point 1 over on the left, vanishing point 2 over on the right, and with 3-point perspective we're going to add a 3rd vanishing point down here on the bottom, and I'm going to call that vanishing point number 3. Okay? So the main difference here is that with 2-point perspective, the line we were trying to keep kind of parallel to the edges of the paper. With 3-point perspective, we're creating that sense of either looking down or looking up at an object, and we get that sense that things are kind of getting smaller as they get farther up or farther down. So all of our, what we would consider the vertical lines, are actually going to be on a little bit of an angle. Okay? So the first thing I'm going to do, okay, instead of drawing my line vertically, I'm going to, I want to tilt this either a little bit to the left or a little bit to the right, but also making sure that I'm connecting this line down to vanishing point 3. I'm going to draw my object, my edge on to the paper here. Okay, and from here, things are actually really similar to 2-point perspective. Right? The same process of joining the bottom of our line out to vanishing point 1 from the top and the bottom, okay, holds, right? And we're going to do the same thing over on the other side in order to create a the 2 sides of our box. And I'm going to put this here, again lining up, making sure that I can see that vanishing point, and drawing this across. Right? So far, right, the only major difference here is that this line is on an angle. Everything else that we've done has really been the same as 2-point perspective. There isn't a huge shift. This is where, again, there's a little bit of a difference. So I'm going to, instead of making sure that my lines are parallel, I'm going to use my 3rd vanishing point here in order to create the edge. Okay, so here, I'm going to draw my line in between the top and the bottom, and I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm pivoting on vanishing point 3, and I'm going to draw the edges in. Okay? So it's really only these 3 lines here that are really different between 2- and 3-point perspective. All of the other procedures are exactly the same. In order to create the top, I'm going back to that 2-point method. I'm going to go to the vertice on the left, and I'm going to connect it to the vanishing point 2 on the right, and same thing over here. Okay? And I'm going to come across and bring that in, like so. Okay? Fairly straightforward, right? The only difference are 3 lines, right? But everything else is exactly the same. Figuring out where the vertices are, figuring out which corner of the object needs to go to which vanishing point, and there you have it. You have a fairly simple box that is created using three-point perspective. And again, the main reason that we would want to do something like this is so that you would be able to create the illusion that you're kind of looking up or looking down on the object, right? In this case, it kind of looks like we're kind of looking down on it because the top is bigger than the bottom, right? And following that principle that as things get farther away, they get smaller. All right, so there you have it. A quick, simple three-dimensional sketch. As I wrap up, I'm just going to quickly add in the different values as I had on the other sketches so that you can kind of help to reinforce that sense of three-dimensionality. But other than that, if you have any questions, make sure that you're asking, and good luck. If you please post what you accomplished so that I can see your progress. Have a great day. Bye.